Bigfoot and the Blue-Eyed Thump-Thumps, Part 2. Scotty flashed the spotlight on the limestone wall, and there was a huge, hairy creature climbing to the top. He was halfway up the wall when we spotted him. He tried to turn to look at us, but we noticed he had a very hard time looking over his shoulder, so we never really got a look at his face, just his back. He was a medium brown color, with lighter spots throughout his hair. We did notice that his hands and feet were hairless, looked more like an ape's hands and feet. The second spotlight sighting was about a year after we started going there. There was a group of about 25 to 30 people there that night. There were some people that followed us in their own cars. One of them had a rifle. We didn't know this until later. We were at the rock crusher maybe an hour or two before we started seeing a lot of Bigfoot activity. We heard a lot of chirping sounds coming from the backside of the lake. So we were using the spotlight in that area. And again, we heard rocks falling behind us. So we turned the spotlight and started scanning the rock walls. On the hand-drawn map, there's a ledge north of the road. We spotted a Bigfoot just climbing onto the ledge, and he froze when we hit him with the light. I heard a lot of ahs and ohs from our group, and then I jumped because someone shot a gun. Everyone jumped at the blast, and Scotty moved the spotlight. When he focused back on the ledge, the Bigfoot was getting up off of one knee and slid against a limestone wall behind it and started up the wall towards the ravines to the left side of the pit. The Bigfoot was shot. It looked like it was hitting the side, close to where our belly buttons are. Even a night like this, the idiot shot the Bigfoot. We still didn't feel threatened or scared. We left early, more because of guilt than anything else. There are so many things that happened at the rock crusher. Too much to type in this report. I'll give you more details on the phone, but here are just a few. When we were leaving, we seen the Bigfoot's black shape on top of the pit swaying in front of a full moon. There was a daytime barbecue when we left to get fuel to start the fire. We came back and our blankets were soaking wet, and they stunk so bad we couldn't get around it again. And there was wet Bigfoot prints all around the blanket. Down in the rock crusher pit, there was a beautiful blue-green lake, and it had thousands of huge tadpoles in it. But we never have seen even a frog in the pit or anywhere around that area. The only animal we ever saw in the pit was a little black kitten. The minute we pulled up and opened the door, the kitten flew into the car and tried to scratch and bite anyone who would try to pull her out of the car. I mean, this kitten was terrorized. I realized that this is a really strange report. From what I've heard, Bigfoot don't stay in one place very long, but this tribe, group, or family stayed in the rock crusher area for at least 3 years. I'll tell you the same thing I told, redacted, that I would be willing to take a lie detector test. Even though the rock crusher is now Rock Crusher RV Park, and I really doubt that the clan of Bigfoot are still there in that one area, there are other abandoned mining pits within the same area. I often wonder, are they still being sighted in Citrus County? There are still a lot of remote areas in that county and farther north. To answer her question, yes, Bigfoot are still being sighted in Citrus County. And yes, they are still being sighted right here. Just a few weeks back, we were on a live stream when something threw a clump of mud and a stick at my face in the middle of the night. There are no people back there, or they would have no good reason to be. Horrifying screeches in the night, terrible smells, and sightings right here. To be quite honest with you, I've not been back, and I will not go back without someone watching my six. I do believe that there is something or some things still at the rock crusher site.